how to contact potential photography clients. Because guys, the thing is, when it comes to your dream clients, whether it's a private client or a commercial brand, they don't know you exist yet. So, sending one email that might just land in the right inbox and get read is never going to be enough. Welcome back to Rich Artist Fridays. My name is Sophie. I'm happy you guys are here. Hi to everybody in the Instagram Live. Another week has gone by. Crazy. Right off the bat, if I cough a little bit, I'm a little bit sick, so I hope you do excuse if that happens. And yeah, how's everybody doing? How was the week? Are we ready for the weekend? Hi, guys. I know I certainly am. Had a very busy, diligent work week. I hope you guys had some of your own personal successes too, and just some happy working moments. No matter what you were working on, I was mostly doing retouching this week. So if for anybody that's new here, I see a comment in the chat. Hi, Sophie, so nice to see you. So nice that you're in here. Thank you for saying hi. For anybody that's new here for the first time, my name is Sophie. Thank you for tuning in. I am the founder of the Rich Artist Program. Rich artists, in order to sort of counteract the starving artist stigma, and rich not only just in terms of money, but also in terms of confidence and abundance in opportunities and clients that align with your values and that allow you to have the resources to create the art that you want to make. And in Rich Artist Fridays, we cover a lot of how to strike the balance between being a successful entrepreneur and running a successful business as a backbone to your photography in terms of your art and wanting to be spontaneous and having enough mental capacity to be creative and to do the projects that you're interested in and to do work that is fulfilling to you. Because being a freelancer is not always the easiest route, but it doesn't mean that that can't be the most fulfilling route to a successful career for you. I relate to that heavily. I am an artist at my core. I've always wanted to do photography. Ever since I was 7 years old, I wanted to be a photographer. And my path in photography has let me through so many trial and errors, so many crazy experiences, so many learning lessons. And had I not had the privilege of being able to do a 6-month unpaid internship, for example, or having this sort of people that I'm surrounded with teach me the ropes, I don't know if I would be standing here right now. And I think it is such a shame that we still experience so much gatekeeping, especially in the fashion and beauty industry, but I think in the commercial photography industry in general, that I want to break that pattern. I want to create a community and a platform for you guys to get access to all of the information, the tactics, but also the emotional support that is required to be a thriving rich artist. Full circle. So if that sounds good to you, we do Rich Artist Fridays every Friday for 30-ish minutes. Those are our sort of weekly quickies that are always going to be for free, and the recording is always uploaded on my YouTube channel if you ever miss a session, where I just try to give you as much of my knowledge and my experience as I can. And we've picked topics that I think are on a lot of freelance artists' minds, that I think a lot of freelance artists can benefit from talking about, recognizing that we're all in this together and we have a lot of the same topics that we need input and support in. And also knowing that structure can create freedom. Structure is the foundation to spontaneity, which is important for us as artists. And obviously, in order to produce good art. So I'm here to give you guys that structure as much as I possibly can. And this week, we're going to talk about how to contact potential photography clients, because I know we've all been there where we go on a website of a brand that we want to work with and we realize like, oh, info at so-and-so or customer care at so-and-so. I mean, we can send emails to those email addresses, and I certainly have, but it can be really frustrating if that's all the contact you have to a brand where they might have like tens or hundreds of employees, and your email is most likely going to get lost in the pool of like customer support emails. And it's already hard enough to sit down and send so many outreach emails. And then hold on one second, you guys. I think my connection is a little bad. I'm sorry, guys. I hope that fixes it. If we're already sitting down and sending hard outreach emails, not knowing that they'll ever get seen by the right person is very frustrating. And I wanted to sort of teach you guys, tell you guys about what I've learned over the last couple of years, what has worked for me, of how to actually build genuine relationships with people where I know, oh, Sarah at MAC Cosmetics is the person that is like the lead in the team that is coming up with the next creative concept for their next campaign. She is the person whose mind I want to be on. She is the person that I know it's worth for me to put in a lot of time and effort to remind her of my existence. Because guys, the thing is, when it comes to your dream clients, whether it's a private client or a commercial brand, they don't know you exist yet. So, sending one email that might just land in the right inbox and get read is never going to be enough to sort of make a lasting impression on people and continuously remind people that, like, hey, you're out here doing the exact kind of work that they might want to hire a photographer for their next project. And that is a little bit of a longer game. And it does take consistency, but I think it also takes the right sort of mindset in terms of like networking. If I've learned anything over the last couple of years, that I have been diligently doing my own reach out and my own sort of networking, and also like tracking of how much I reach out to one individual person or one brand. It has definitely been not just one or two emails. It has been, for some brands, it's been months, years of continued networking before a job ever came around. And also, realistically, with some brands, I've invested months and years of outreach and nothing has come from it. But when I started doing reach out, I very quickly realized that I've come to this point where if I'm not getting an active stop contacting us, or we're not looking for somebody, or you're not the right fit for us, I'm gonna stop making this assumption that they don't want me. A no reply no longer means no to me. A no reply means, oh, it's okay. Like, it's my job to remind people that I'm out here, that I'm available, and that I exist. Now, let's talk a little bit about getting to know the right kind of people, especially when it comes to brands. I'm mainly going to be focusing on commercial brands today rather than private clients. And if you guys want, let me know. I can do another Rich Artist Friday on how to reach the right kind of private client for you. But today I definitely want to talk about companies, brands, because that's what I get asked about a lot. Because it can seem very mystifying because we don't know who's behind the scenes. We don't know who the people are that are in the right department. Maybe we don't even know which department we should be reaching out to. So one of the most helpful things that I recently have been doing a lot is just get to know the company, get to know corporate structures, and sort of start to understand like who the key people are and who they are as people too, right? We're talking about networking. So what I love doing is going on LinkedIn and looking up the brands that I'm interested in. And if you go on LinkedIn and you go on to people, you can oftentimes see, okay, these are the founders, this is their marketing director, this is their creative director, or this is their like in-house art director. All of these sort of people are people that you should be focusing on, because they are the ones that are going to either make the suggestion of which creatives to hire, or they're going to be leading they're going to be the creative lead on the next project. And I've realized that, it's not just sending emails being like, hey, I want to work with you, I want to work with you, I want to work with you. What's more effective is getting to know these people by name. And by name, I mean like seeing a picture of them and remembering that Ashley is the creative director at this brand. And a lot of this is, like I said, is going to be a long game. It's not going to be you send one email and they're either ready to hire somebody and you just so happen to get lucky that you're in the right place at the right time. What I think is a lot more effective is treating it like networking, where you start running in the same circles as these people and you start continuously sort of showing up in front of their faces. The way that I do that is I will message people on LinkedIn and ask to connect. I will message them and ask for a direct contact. I will follow a brand on social media and try to get a hold of the social media manager and hype up their content, leave heartfelt comments to sort of stand out from a crowd of just like people that only leave emojis under brands, and sort of acknowledge that what they are doing is in alignment with the kind of work that you do. I think that's important. And then take it one step further and get to know the person that is running the social media account. And then once you know that Susan is the one running the social media account, being like, Susan, you've been killing it. I am loving all of this content. Repost their content so that Susan feels acknowledged, because no matter how big the brand, these are all just individual human beings. And that's what networking is about. And then eventually you're going to be like, hey, Susan, like, I'm a commercial photographer. Your brand is the kind of brand that I am targeting to work with specifically this year, because I think we're so in alignment and we would be a fantastic match. I'd love to introduce myself to the people on your marketing team. Do you have a direct email contact for me to say hi to them? And maybe Susan has a little bit more capacity and she is one of the people that works internally in the team that has access to all of these contacts. That's how I've gotten a lot of like direct contacts at a brand, rather than like the hello at whatever it is that is like public on their website. And then when I reach out to that email, I make sure to be like, hi, Ashley. Susan was so sweet to give me your contact as we were connecting over social media. I already told her I am loving the recent campaign. I am loving the recent casting and loving the representation on your platforms that I've been seeing recently. And then being like, this is who I am, this is what I do. And I would love to hear more about what you guys have been currently working on. Like I said, and I'm going to keep repeating myself like a broken record. This is a long game. This is not a, hey, I'm here, please hire me. This is I'm here and I love what you are doing. And I think you would love what I'm doing too. Let's bond over that. I oftentimes, when it's the first point of contact with a brand, with somebody internal to the brand, I don't really like giving them a sales pitch. I like to sort of just say that I'm looking to connect, that I'm looking to say hi, that I want to take time out of my day to hear them talk about what they're currently working on. I think that is a lot more enticing to people in a brand than you're not the only person that is reaching out to them. You're not the only creative that is reaching out to them, wanting them to hire you. But I think it's tricky if you're coming at it from a point of like, please hire me, I need something from you, because then you're already meeting them, making demands right away, rather than coming from a place of like, we're already playing the same game, we're already sort of on the same level. You sort of have to meet these brands, these people that work for these brands, from a point of, I know that I'm the right creative for you. I know that I'm qualified to work with you. And I view myself as an equal to you guys in terms of like where I stand as a professional in my own business. And professionals that feel empowered in their own business, they're not just doing outreach from a point of lack where they're just desperately asking people to hire them. Now, it's okay to reach out to people and tell them that you want them to hire you. And I want you guys to do that confidently. But before you get to that point, learn to sort of realize that you already are sort of a colleague to these people. And now you're just curious about getting to know them, because they also have things that they care about. They also have priorities internally within their business. And it's good for you to sort of recognize that and hold space for that. And then it makes it easier to stick around until that point comes where you're in the right place at the right time, and these people already know your name, and maybe they've already met you on a Zoom call. That's the next point I wrote down. In person is key. In person, as in like, can also be via Zoom. That is always my number one goal when I'm reaching out to a new contact or at a new brand, is to get in front of these people sort of face to face, because it makes such a big difference in making a lasting impression, rather than just email exchanges. Because like, it makes a big difference for me to be able to reach out to people and to continuously be like, hey, what are you up to? Like, like, take notice of me. If I have a face in mind, that's why I like looking people up on LinkedIn, because it's so much easier for me to sort of gauge in which tone I should be messaging Ashley, and like the way that she replies back, and having a face sort of backing that up creates a picture of a whole person. And when you're doing email outreach, always ask yourself, am I talking to a person? Because if you feel like you're talking to a billion-dollar brand, it's going to be very hard to network and actually make like interhuman connections in that sense. And those connections are what ultimately are going to get you the job. Really, it is. Because all it takes is that one person that's like, I'm obsessed with this artist and they're such a sweet person, and we want to have the experience of working with them, of having them be an integrated part of this upcoming project. Because they're not just hiring you for a service, they're hiring you as the whole person that you are, because they're going to be spending a lot of time with you, and they're going to be talking to you a lot. So, bank on that strength, that people can like you when they meet you. So when I do get a hold of a person, even if it's not exactly the person I want to be talking to, like, yeah, I'd obviously love to have all of my Zoom meetings with the CEOs and CFOs of their companies. But sometimes, even if it's the like the creative director of the ambassador program or something, that work more with the social media folks, it's fine, because I'm not going to be sitting there talking to them for an hour and a half. But I love suggesting, like, hey, do you have time for like a 20-minute Zoom coffee date? I love to meet people face to face. I'd love to hear what you guys are currently working on. That is a foot in the door to somebody working in this brand, and that person maybe knows the creative director that is actually running like the in-house marketing strategies and stuff like that. And then once you've talked to them, they might go and tell that person about you. Then that person might look you up on social media. Bam, they've talked about you, they've acknowledged your existence. Like, that's all we want in the beginning. And obviously make a lasting impression once you do get your foot in the door of like being able to talk to somebody internally. And in 2 weeks' time, we're going to do a Rich Artist Friday about like what a client wants. So understanding, even from the first time they talk to you, what is of priority to a client? How can you put yourself in the client's shoes and understand, like, a client doesn't want a sales pitch when they're first meeting you. A client also wants connection. They also want to network with artists. They also want to have an exchange about what's important to them, or what the main goal of the brand is. And like, yes, selling products is the main goal of a brand, but luckily these days with so many brands, it goes so much beyond that point. And that's where you have common ground. That's a perfect point to connect about, and to what's the word I'm looking for? To bond over with these people. And that's how you make a lasting impression. So we're going to talk about that more in 2 weeks' time. We're going to sort of interrupt this like tactical sort of Which Artist Friday with the story time next week. But then after that, we're going to pick it right back up about what we're talking about today. And lastly, I wrote down that this sort of networking, this sort of outreach, consider it a money-making activity. I know it might feel tedious to, message Sasha on LinkedIn, and then simultaneously, send her an email, and then a week later send her an email with a 1-minute video of you talking about what sort of brands you're looking to work with, and why that's important to you, and why you're the right person for that job. I have those kind of videos that I actually do send to brands, and I know it's so cringe, but I'm like, if I can get this person to watch a 1-minute video of my face rather than just a second email that is just as impersonal, being like, hey, I just wanted to follow up and like see if you got my message. They got your message. They probably didn't have time to answer it, and they don't even really know who you are yet. So continuously showing up in whatever capacity and on whatever platform you can is crucial. And if now you have a lot of fear coming up that's saying, like, in the back of your head, like, these people are going to be so annoyed by me and they're going to think I'm stalking them, let them. Like, honestly, let them. Like, have you ever had somebody reach out to you, like write you an email and then slide into your DMs just because they love what you're doing and they're looking to express that? And yes, maybe they're also looking for you to hire them, but are you really that annoyed by it? And if you are, that's fine. Like, you're probably just not going to answer it, but like, you're not going to like actively hate this individual person that you don't know. I think most of the time it is flattering to be reached out to and to have somebody be so diligent about wanting to get in contact with you. And if you can do it in a way that lets them also, just talk about themselves, talk about what's important to them, and offering them like an open mind and curiosity to understand, like, you're offering your own personal time as well to get to know them and understand what they want, what they need, what they're looking for. That's flattering. And that's all you're offering in the beginning. You're not there being like, here are my prices, and like, I need to prove myself over the competition of the other photographers that are reaching out to you. That's not the point that we're at yet. You're literally just trying to get these people to take notice of you. You're looking to connect with these people because that's way more important in order to get these sort of jobs. So make a habit out of getting into that mindset that your outreach routines are networking times, that you can have fun doing this, and that there's amazing humans on the other side of it that you then get to know, get to connect with. I'm currently talking to a brand that we're going to be shooting one of their collections soon, and I reached out to them like over a year's worth ago, and we connected, and I think we had like a Zoom. I reconnected with them now. Back then I made them an offer that they couldn't afford yet, but we've been in contact ever since. I went to visit them at their offices. I got to sit in their back room, behind their store, and talk to them and hear about what they've been working on, what their hopes are for this year, and sort of connect with them on that level. And now when they're looking for a photographer, I will be their number one go-to, and I am their number one go-to. And the desire to work with me has been there constantly while their business grows. And now when we work together, we can sort of grow together because we've established that we like each other as people, and that we trust each other, which is really, really valuable. I see a comment. Even in the middle of my shift, I feel the urge to drop everything and be here for the Regardless Fridays. I'm gonna make more money from these tips in the future than from my current 9 to 5. Yes, you will. I hope you will. I know you can. So thank you for that, but don't get in trouble. Yeah, guys, obviously I appreciate every single one of you tuning in. But like I said, the recording always is up for you guys. So that's all I have for you today. Like I said, in 2 weeks' time, we're gonna, expand on this topic. I'm gonna read you guys. So next week, we're gonna do a fun story time. I want to talk about what shooting a global photography campaign is like. So I'm gonna talk about my experience, the first time that I landed a job for a beauty campaign that was in stores around the entire world for $1 billion beauty brand, which was so wild. And I shot that campaign in 2020. So I was 25 years old, which was the wildest experience. It was also my first travel job. So it was my first time like flying to a location with an assistant and then hiring locals over there and having to organize a whole shoot in a city that I've never been to before. And I love doing these story times because I think like we learned a lot also through being entertained and getting to play fly on the wall. And like I said, I was privileged enough to get to do a lot of experiences where I was fly on the wall with in this industry as well. And then also, down the road becoming a player in it myself. So I want you guys to be able to share those experiences So we're going to do, I'm just reading it off of here, what a photography client wants. So you guys can already go onto my Eventbrite. There's a link in my bio for everybody here on Instagram. And if you are tuning in from the Zoom, then via the same website, via the same page where you booked this ticket for the Zoom, you can go and sign up for the other ones. And for everybody that's in here in the Instagram Live, if you ever want to actively participate in the Rich Artist Fridays and get on my mailing list, then sign up for the Zoom sessions that are the actual Rich Artist Fridays. That way you also don't miss any like notifications about events I have coming up. If we do workshops, if I ever do like a raffle for like a free portfolio review or something like that, all of that is being done via email. So sign up for that so that you can stay up to date with all of that. Soul says, how important it is to know what the photography client wants. It all starts there. I'm so looking forward to it. Yeah, exactly. It's very important, especially as an entrepreneur, to be able to look at it from both sides, because then you can learn to speak their language, and it makes these like first sort of meetings a lot easier, because if you can make them feel good about themselves and feel safe, like they can trust you, and that also they really appreciate your time and your interest in them, it makes you stand out so much above all of the artists that are just doing the like typical sales pitch or the like wanting to prove themselves to a client so desperately. So thanks for that comment. You're absolutely right. And if you are currently at a point in your photography career where you're looking for one-on-one input, you're looking for somebody to really accompany through the stages of your career where you're currently at, take a look at your, next most important goals within the next couple of months, within the next year, hit me up for one-on-one coaching. I do coaching consultations that are for free, where we can look if it makes sense for us to work together one-on-one. And I love accompanying all of you guys and watching you guys grow as artists. I've had private clients be with me for the last year, the last 2 years. It's so rewarding to get to accompany you guys step by step throughout your career, because with growing success comes growing hurdles. And I do really strongly believe that we shouldn't have to do it all on our own, and that we thrive off of investing in coaching and reaching out for help and benefiting off of the knowledge of others and letting others teach us. I personally have several coaches helping me with my own business and with my own growth and my own success. Because in my opinion, the investment has been worth it so many times over. Even if you start off with, how can I acquire that one private client job a month that counteracts the cost of coaching? If that's where you need to start, that's where we will start. And I know that you guys can do it, because your art is so great. Now you just need the backbone to back it up and pull in the resources that are required in order for you to be able to be a successful artist and make a living off of your art, because I know that you can. So thank you for believing in yourself. Thank you for continuing to show up. Thank you for showing up for our Rich Artist Fridays. Can't wait to see you guys again. And yeah, if you ever miss a session, check out the YouTube channel. And I love you guys so much. And I will see you guys next week. Mwah. Bye, you guys.